We're almost 2 hours into trading. It is Monday, June 28th. Hello, traders. Let's take a look at Friday's pick, BILI. I had referenced the FXI rally. I think Chinese stocks are catching a nice little bid right now. This is a stock that has been able to already get through technical resistance levels. We'll take a look at some other Chinese stocks today. Was it a good pick? Video came out right here. Downward sloping trend line. Should have waited for that upside to be breached. No, never did anything Friday, although we did see some strength in other Chinese stocks today. Stock gaps up, can't quite hold that bid. So if you did buy this early gap higher, you've got these tails under body. That is your stop out point right there. You've got to take your loss and move on. Not a particularly good trade. Let's take a look at the daily chart. And there you can see we've got this downward sloping trend line here that's been broken to the upside. We're above the 100-day moving average. Nice volume. So I like everything. I think the stock still can move higher. For those of you who like selling out of the money bullish put spread, selling below that 100-day moving average will work. Let's go into Pop Bull, and there you'll be able to see that we've got a number of Chinese stocks doing well. JKS, NIO, Baidu. Those are all Chinese stocks. We'll be taking a look at those in a minute. And we'll take a look at some of the hot groups today. You can see that the market had a gap higher. And if you watch my videos, you know that I hate buying gap up moves when the market is near an all-time high. Why? Because you are vulnerable to these gap reversals. You're much better off being very, very patient and waiting to see if that gap holds or if it pulls back. When it pulls back like this, we want to be looking for stocks with relative strength because this pullback is going to shake out the head fakes. When you get a gap up in the market, everything rallies early. But as soon as you get a little bit of weakness like this, the ones that are fakes have the bottom drop out. The ones that are the real deal will keep grinding higher and higher and higher. So keep these bars in mind because I'm going to show you some charts. And the first 4 bars of the day were very weak. We will be looking for stocks that had 4 very strong bars to start the day. Those are the ones that we want to be trading. Those are the ones that we have been trading. Market's going to be very quiet this week. We don't have a lot of news. We have a holiday coming up a week from today. So as we get through the week, things are going to really come to a grinding halt. This is a time to really keep your trades. Maybe if you're doing an overnight, you can hold them overnight, but I would keep your overnight swings to a minimum. Day trade. We've got lots of stocks and we've got many groups today. Crypto is hot. EV, electronic vehicle stocks are very hot today. Chinese stocks have a decent bid. Some of the biotechs, especially genome related stocks, are hot today. That's what Option Stalker helps us do is it quickly identifies these stocks. What is the market doing today? Nada. You can see long green candle, long red candle. Lots of green and red candles mixed. The 10P indicator has spent the whole morning in negative territory. That tells me that there is some selling pressure that needs to be worked off. Friday, the market gapped up. Check the bid early in the day. Again, here we didn't lift off. So once the bid was confirmed, some long tails under body here. Okay, we've got a chance to move higher. And we had a little bit of strength after the open, but not much. Kind of a flat day. This is the type of price action that we can expect. If we go into the daily chart, you can see that every time we hit that 50-day moving average on the S&P, we bounce off of it. But then the market rallies and you get these compressed little tiny candles because there is selling pressure and there is resistance. As far as the overall market, I'm a little bit more bullish now than I was a month ago. Why? We've had TLT moving higher and showing support. So you can see the bonds have been gradually moving higher. That means that inflation worries are subdued. Everybody's comfortable with the Fed. They think that the Fed is going to be holding off on any interest rate hikes until late 2023. So that's not a threat right now. We also have FXI moving higher. As I had mentioned Friday, let's put up the 100-day and the 200-day moving averages to see where they come into play. Why is FXI so important? You can see it's above the 200-day moving average and continuing to move higher. I believe that China is the global growth engine. If China is struggling, that means that their exports are going to be lower than expected. Their economic growth is going to be slower than expected. We've seen a lot of supply chain disruptions. Containers for ships to ship goods right now, extremely expensive. Average normal cost $1,600 per container. Right now, $11,500, and containers that are filled with goods are being unloaded because there's a higher bidder for that container. Hasbro and Mattel sitting on mountains of toys that are not likely to make it to the US before Christmas. This is a microcosm of a bigger problem. So that is why China's market is in bear market territory. It was in bear market territory. Now it's starting to gradually recover. We need to see strength in China. You can see that I've got many alerts set here, and they all come into play just above this current level. I think that when the Chinese stocks start to catch a bid, that will be a sign that their economy is starting to improve and that our market has a chance to run through the high. The other reason I'm getting a little bit more bullish is because we have another quarter of profits almost under our belt. Earnings season will start in about 3 weeks or so. That usually attracts buyers. So I think that the bid is going to continue to strengthen. I'm not looking for a massive blow off rally, and I think that you need to be very careful because look at the volume. Very, very light volume. You see this little volume spike right here? That was all quadruple witching related. As the week unfolds, you're going to see it continue to move lower. Light volume rallies like this can quickly be stripped away. So you can see right here, very light volume, market rallies, and then look at the backside. So be careful. This is not a time to spread your wings. We'll have opportunities to do so. If you're day trading, find those hot sectors, trade them like mad because we're getting excellent sector rotation. We're going to keep an eye on this low of the day, and I'm going to drop an alert line right there. So we've got the S&P kind of floundering around, trying to find support, not really doing a whole lot. This 10P indicator is getting pretty deep, meaning it's starting to reach a trough. So we'd like to see it bottom out and get a little bit of a cross. That would be a bullish sign, ideally right here on the low. Then we can go back in and start getting long some of the stocks that we like. Let's go through the list here very quickly. This is Pop Bull. This is my favorite swing trading search. You can see here that it's through JKS, through horizontal resistance, through the 200-day moving average. Bring up the 5-minute chart. Fantastic price action. I can also see this in the bullish explosion alert. This is a day trading alert. We got an alert. It's a pop-up that comes up. We're looking for specific patterns. And so this stock came up very, very early right in here. That was a nice, nice trade. Massive volume, relative strength, technical breakouts. You must have those three ingredients to have a successful trade. So let's go back to the Pop Bull search and let's take a look at those stocks one more time. JKS breaking through the 200-day moving average looks good for a short-term day trade. NIO, Chinese EV car maker. Hello, look at that volume. When you see long green candles closing on their high like this consecutively on this kind of massive, massive volume. Well, Pete, how do I know that it's massive volume? What is massive volume? 2 times, 3 times average daily volume? That certainly would qualify. But visually, all you have to do is go in, take a look at today's volume, take a look at the volume the last few days. If it's coming up on a heavy volume searches, yes, it qualifies. That's a stock that you want to be trading. Go into the 30-minute chart. Look at this volume spike right out of the opening gate here. The first 30-minute bar is higher than we've seen in over 2 weeks. Yeah, this one's going to go, especially with these long green candles. But Pete, I just can't buy these stocks because they've already run up so much. And I've read everywhere that you have to be a patient trader and that you have to wait for pullbacks and buy them. Generally, absolutely right. You do not want to be buying stocks that are screaming higher. This is a quiet market. You don't want to be super aggressive. There are exceptions to the rule. This is one of them. I call it buying stupid. So when you get these long green candles closing on the high right out of the gate, and you get that kind of sustained volume, the key word being sustained, not one bar, not 2 bars, 3 or 4 bars. Yeah, okay, this thing is going to go. Add the technical breakout. Goodbye. Would I buy it here? Not on a day like this. There's a nice little bullish flag in there. You get this candle here getting through the high. Yeah, you could buy right here. Right now, I'd be waiting for a pullback, looking for that next bullish flag, and then you can get in. NIO, Chinese stock, looks good. NVIDIA continuing to rocket higher. ZM, that hit my radar today because it's getting through a major moving average. You can see that 200-day moving average right there. Downward sloping trend line, broken to the upside. I like ZM. I like it a lot. I might even consider it for my pick of the day. BDX, lots of tails above body, poking through, just a little poke through. Got to be very careful with these because bloop, they could come right back down. So you want to make sure that this breakout holds. If it does, yes, the stock looks like it's poised to move a little bit higher. Apple's been really strong today. I'd like to see it through this resistance level, but it's had good relative strength. Click GTC, click the top of this candle. Now I'll know if it gets through that. Baidu, I like Baidu. This is a nice area to get long because you have 1, 2 major support levels. Actually, it was tested here, higher low, higher low. So it's starting to get off the deck. It's through this horizontal resistance right here. It's above the 200-day moving average. It has room to run to the 100-day. I do like Baidu. I think Baidu's got a chance, if nothing else, just to bounce and go up to the 100-day, especially as Chinese stocks start to gain traction. So I do like Baidu. It could also be my pick of the day, but what I don't like about it is that it gapped up and now it's been drifting back down. It's filling in this gap. So I want something that's shown me better strength today. Now the market's also been soft, so I'm not overly bearish on Baidu. Microsoft, let's take a look at Microsoft. This is pretty nice price action. You got your long green candles on the open. You've got your big volume for Microsoft. You have a bullish flag formation right here starting to set up. And look at this. This is the tell. This is the tell. And this is what I preach every single day. If you want to find a stock that is going to move higher, market down, 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 down. Okay. What did Microsoft do on those 5 bars? Up, 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 up. This is relative strength. This tells me that this stock is going to go higher. BYND has breached below a trend line. Let's take a look at that and then let's go back. So here's what I did. I like BYND today. We're going to take a look at the stock and I'll show you why I liked it. We had this rally, we had this pullback right in here. And I thought, this is such a choppy stock. I would only want to buy a pullback. It makes a new high for the day. So I dropped an alert line right here. 1, 2, 3 lines of support. And now I just got an alert. Let's take a look at that daily chart. You can see I like BYND. I think this stock sets up well, but here's the issue. Volume. There's no volume. If there's no volume, all of these little mini pops are nothing more than a pop. There's nothing sustained. There's no driving force behind it. I want the stocks that have sustained volume because that tells me institutions are in there buying it. Downward sloping trend line. There's your flagpole. Downward sloping trend line, breakout above it. Yes, I like BYND. I'd like it better if it were able to get through this horizontal resistance. So I'm going to click there. I'm going to click here. I'm going to click here. I'll have a slightly upward sloping trend line. That's okay. If it gets through that, I'm going to get an alert. So Microsoft, let's take a look at the daily chart. Through horizontal resistance, nice beefy volume in here, not extreme volume. It's a mega cap tech stock, so it's tough to really get those huge volume spikes when the market doesn't have much volume. I like Microsoft. That's going to be my pick of the day. I think Microsoft continues to move higher. I like the fact that it's got a little bullish flag formation right here. I like the fact that it's been able to hold its gains and rally here when the market's been a little bit soft. So I think Microsoft is going to continue to move higher, and I like this breakout on the daily chart. That's your pick of the day. That's how we find them. I can go into some of the day trading searches. I'll check heavy volume very quickly. You can see some of the names up here. Coin. So this is a crypto stock. I had mentioned Chinese stocks, crypto stocks, EV stocks, all very strong. Solar stocks, strong. You've got an intersection here because this is a solar stock and a Chinese stock. Okay, double whammy. NIO, Chinese stock and an EV stock. Double whammy. Okay, it's got both things working in its favor. FSLR, solar stock. There's NIO. NIO actually looks very, very good also. So let me click on that very quickly. You can see nice breakout, good support on the 100-day moving average. Big, long, green candles on the open. I'm going to continue to look down here. Let's go into red hot. This is a fantastic search. We'll be able to find stocks that right now are moving higher. Coin, really like that. Look at that baby go. It's got a lot of room to run to get to that 50-day moving average, downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside, 1, 2 support levels. Yes, for today, it looks good. Just going to go into DQ. You can see 200-day moving average. You don't want to be buying this right now. It's trying to get through that resistance level, and look what happened when it tested it. Doink, pulled right back. So you've got to be mindful of what's happening on a daily chart as well as a 5-minute chart. Right now, when I day trade, I want to make sure that I like the stock on a swing trading basis. Very critical, because if I get a little bit of a market dip, I can hang on to that stock. I can weather the storm because I know that I like the stock on a swing trading basis. So make sure that you're looking at that daily chart for every one of your swing trades. Getting through horizontal resistance right in here. FSLR also looks good. Gap up, holds a 200-day moving average, moving higher on relatively heavy volume. And the final one we'll check is TDD, downward sloping trend line. Breach to the upside through the 100-day and 200-day long green candle here, massive volume. Doji, after that long green candle, tells me that it was able to hold all of these gains. This doji tells me that buyers are still lined up. If they weren't, you would have seen a red candle and there would have been some profit taking if this were a fake move. So you get a long green candle closing near its high, followed by a doji, usually going to make a move higher after that. So it's a nice technical pattern. Take a look at the 5-minute chart, and you can see that it's had nice relative strength, still maintaining that upward sloping trend line here while the market comes in. Not a big fan of the market here. We're testing the low of the day. You can see I've got my alert line right there. Got the 10P indicator continuing to drift lower, has not been able to get into positive territory. So I wouldn't be overly anxious getting long until, click alert, click that candle right there, click that candle there. Now I have a downward sloping trend line. Get that upward breakout above that trend line right here, and you get a deep trough with a bullish 10P cross. That tells you that market conditions are good for going in and buying stocks like Microsoft. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Good luck with your trading. Keep it light this week. Volume's going to fall off. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.